Okay, we here for round number 2 are on the play once again. My hand is good, but is also mana light. I think I'm tempted. I think I want a mulligan because of the match that we just played. The game we just played makes me feel like I'm gonna miss my land drops, but I think this is a gamble I'm supposed to take again. This hand is very good if I hit my lands. So I'm going to keep, I'd be a lot more comfortable keeping this on the draw. I can respect a mulligan here, but I think the upside of this hand panning out is worth the risk that it doesn't. I will likely be eating my words in a moment here, though. I mean, we're relatively high land count for how aggressive a deck we are. We're 20 lands plus the opals, right? 20 lands plus the opals. Yeah. So I think it's reasonable to imagine that we can find one of those 23 mana sources before it's too late. Obviously, that puts us, you know, like a little more than a third. It's a lot more than a third, I guess. Probably like 40% to hit. Let's see here. Looks like we did hit. Excellent. So what we were... Yeah, we were 43% to hit on the first draw step. So I think that's a reasonable risk to take. And fortunately we got it. Does not work out for our hardened scales, of course. But I think we're still going to be able to go over the top of Dredge. We have to be wary of Conflagrate, of course. Faithless Looting, Loam. I might have just obscured our card preview for a moment there with my calculator. I apologize if that was the case. Either way, then you got to see the 43%. I didn't make it up. All right, so they milled over Stinky when they dredged Loam. Dredge Stinky off of a Faithless Looting from hand. Hit Narcomoeba, Prized Amalgam, and a Bloodghast, one of each. And then dredged Loam. Then discard Bloodghast, Prized Amalgam. All right. Well, we might not actually be able to go over the top of them in time. If I draw if I draw a source for Hardened Scales, we probably still can. But this is certainly panning out well. They did use a dredge quite a few cards, right? So it's not like a huge shocker that they were able to hit all of that, but still a little better than average. I guess I do still just want to play Ravager. Hangerback Walker does give us the opportunity for a lot of blockers, and the bigger problem with Ravager is that I don't have anywhere to put the counters if my Ravager does happen to die. Anywhere exciting, I should say. I mean, I could put it on the Arcbound Worker, assuming it's not like also dying, which seems reasonable. Then I can get my Arcbound Worker to die at some point down the road for a Hangerback, so I guess that's fine. And if it doesn't die, then I can set up to try and get him with the Inkmoth Nexus, particularly because I have the Apostle's Blessing to get past Narcomoebas. In game 1, I don't think there's a lot of reason for me to worry about doing this now. I guess main deck Dark Blast isn't unreasonable. So if they fetch here, I probably do this. Yeah, it's not like I'm going to block with my Overseer here. It's not even particularly uncommon for, you know, Dark Blast to show up in the main deck, so. See if they Shriekhorn in their upkeep. They do indeed. Another Prized Amalgam and another Bloodghast. Wow. But no Conflagrates, at least, so we've got that going for us. Also, they took a natural draw for turn rather than dredging loam. So they actually don't have a green source. Is what that generally means to me. 3, 6, 8, 10. This is going to give the Bloodghasts haste, but if I'm guessing that they don't have a green source and hoping they didn't draw one now, I don't really mind the Bloodghast haste situation. I could block something and eat. I mean, again, they don't have Conflagrate yet, so I could block something and eat the Arcbound Worker. I guess that's fine, yeah. I don't anticipate, again, if I don't think they have the land, I don't anticipate getting Conflagrated either, so block this. But I guess I don't want to do that before I play Hardened Scales, preferably. It doesn't really matter, though, right? I just have to try to have lethal next turn. That would be 5, 6, 7... 8, 9, so I'm still short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So I'd have to draw a 0, a welding jar, an opal, or a green source, right? Yeah, so this doesn't change that. I think I still make this block then. Okay. Oh, did I not count this as 3 actually? I don't think I counted this as 3, right? I counted this as 2. And it counts as 3 because I get to put a counter on this, eat it, and put a counter on this. So that should be 10 then. So I don't need it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay, we're good. I'm just doing my modular math wrong again. Not quite the same way actually, but yeah. So I don't actually need anything, assuming they don't have Dark Blast. Maybe a Cathartic here. Yeah, okay. So they're going to pitch these and probably take some natural draws. No, they dredge. Dredge off of Stinky, dredge off of Stinky. Oh, no, but I don't have the mana source to also cast Apostle's Blessing. Okay, jeez. I'm all over the place. So I need to draw a mana source still to cast the Apostle's Blessing and get past the Narcomoebas, but other than that, I have the 10 required. I'm like, oh, I need a green source for this. No, I need a green source for this. Or any source. So Opal or any land should be a kill here. Outside of that, these Narcomoebas will ensure that we don't get there. Okay. All right. So after all of my nonsense rambling, as long as I don't horrifically screw this up, we should be good to go. So let's do this. Still have my mana floating. Sack an artifact. I would like to sack it to its own ability. Put the counters there. Yes. That doesn't happen anymore. Spend this mana, pay some life, and pick blue. Get in there. All right. Took a lot of rambling and a lot of nonsense that you had to listen to get there, but hey, we figured it out. We got there. All right. Against Dredge, what do we want besides surgicals? I mean, I definitely want these, but outside of that, there's not a lot of incentive for anything else. Pithing Needle's not really going to do anything exciting. Don't really care about any of those. I mean, what is my opponent's board plan? It's grudges and dark blasts and all that awful stuff that we don't want to happen to us. I think this matchup might be kind of tough post board, particularly. Regular affinity is usually quite a struggle against Dredge, but we'll see. Maybe it won't be quite as bad. That said, I definitely want all of my jars still. I could just cut Animation Module and Throne of Geth again. I do want my Blessing. I want all of these. I want all of those. I want these. I want those. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Don't think I want to cut a land either. So we'll do this and run it. All right, hand is fine and has a surgical, so I will keep it. Opponent goes down to 6 and keeps. Generally, I'm not going to want to go after dredgers with this. I'm going to want to go after the creatures. Obviously, that can change, but isn't particularly likely to. All right. Let's see here. I don't think there's a reason for me to Stirrings here instead. So we will go Inkmoth, Arcbound Worker. And then next turn I will play Steel Overseer. Alright. So maybe my opponent does not have an enabler? Attack first here. If they had Dark Blast, I think they definitely would have Dark Blasted this, so I think I no fear play Steel Overseer. I don't know why they wouldn't have Dark Blasted. I guess they could have Grudge. That would be a good reason for them to keep their enableless hand, their hand without an enabler. Destructive Revelry. Okay, well I'm not interested in surgicaling that. I would have surgical the Grudge here. They could also have like Stinkweed Imp. Like Destructive Revelry plus Stinkweed Imp on the play. Pretty reasonable to expect. They'd be fine. Oh, it's a Conflagrate. Okay, well, I could potentially surgical that. Obviously, there's no reason for me to do it right now on their end step, but it's something we can consider here. I would probably want to do it before casting Stirrings to inform my decision based on what's in their hand. I think their hand is so slow and likely doesn't have a different enabler other than this that I would like to surgical this. So we will do that. They do have a Grudge as well. Brutal. And a Bloodghast. Down to just 2 Conflagrates. I'm kind of surprised. Seems like it's relatively good against us. All right, so they're on triple Grudge. Down to 3 Bloodghast. Or, yeah, down to 3 Bloodghasts. They do have a single Dark Blast and also triple Revelry. That's a lot. Okay. They're also on the Ghost Quarters. 3 of them. So, yeah, they got a lot for us. And currently have Grudge, Bloodghast, Mountain. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to try and fight through this stuff, not grab like Welding Jar. I think I'm supposed to just grab annoying stuff like Hangerback Walker. I don't really want to run this Ravager out there. So any order these. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Hangerback Walker for 1. I mean, I could wait and play it for 2. I could just do nothing. Or attack with Inkmoth. I mean, their hand's slow. I don't want to give them all the time in the world, though. But they have neither an enabler nor a dredger. Yeah, I just want to be annoying. I don't think I want to play Hangerback Walker for 1 when I can just play it for 2 next turn. Oh, well. That's frustrating, though. The dredger that doesn't require an enabler. So now they will actually get to start going. It's slow again, but it's something that they can continue to produce a dredger with every turn. So that's definitely a bummer for us. It didn't take very long. It didn't take very long. I was hopeful we'd get a bit of time. So still Bloodghast, and I guess they have no mystery cards, right? It's land, Bloodghast, Grudge. Since they're dredging back lands, yeah. So still lands, Bloodghast, Grudge. Loam currently in the yard. So it's Opal first, Ravager. Pass. I guess I could play another Hangerback Walker for one. Or Ballista for one, I suppose, is probably better. No, I think I'm just going to pass. So they dredge Loam again, hit nothing of interest. So now their hand is Loam, lands, Bloodghast, Grudge. Here comes the Ghast. So they still have Grudge, Flashback, Grudge. So this doesn't really pan out for me. But I think it's fine for me to just go ahead and get it over with. So I can use my mana next turn on this additional Hangerback Walker and being annoying with that too. So I will attempt to do this. I think my Ravager is more important to me than just getting some additional Thopters right now. So I'll just eat that. Particularly because I have an Inkmoth Nexus. Seems like that's probably going to be my sort of threatening kill at the moment. We just have to make the opponent use Grudge on something that's not Inkmoth Nexus, right? And I always need to leave that 1 mana up, which should be easy because my natural play this turn is Hangerback for 2. X is 2, that is. I guess it's preferable to do it this way. So this turn they actually drew a card and it was Faithless Looting. Jeez, okay. I was gonna say they actually have one mystery card now that we need to keep in mind because they didn't dredge that Loam again, but hey. Now we know it's Faithless Looting, which is pretty good. Discard that Loam in one of the lands. So now they have 2 mystery cards and a land. Stinky. All right, well, this Ballista can clean up Stinky, fortunately for us. But they still have the Grudge. So I still can't do anything nuts. If I ballista for 3, I get to keep my ballista. But they will have the ability to grudge my Ravager without me putting on Ink Moth, but I think that's totally fine because we have other great targets for it. So I think I'm going to cast Ballista for 3. I mean, this does mean they'll get like a slightly better Dredge, which gives them more opportunities to find grudges. Blah, 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 but they actually might just be dead if they don't use Grudge, right? Yeah, they're just like very dead if they don't use Grudge. Because of the Ballista in particular. So assuming they say no blocks, what do we do? Okay, so they're going to lead on Grudge. So what's the way I can do the most damage? I guess sacking the hanger back and its tokens, putting that all on Ballista gets me an additional damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So I can do 9, I think, is the most. 2 damage from these. And then the rest from Ballista. So I think, do I either want, I don't know if I want a huge hanger back. I don't want a huge hanger back. I'd rather have a big Ballista here. I have another hanger back in my hand. But I don't think I want to sack the Thopter tokens. Maybe I just put the 2 counters on this Ballista and let them take the damage otherwise. Can that beat just replay Stinky, right? I guess that's our benchmark. So shoot Stinky, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it can definitely beat that. Okay, so let's just do that. I mean, I guess I should at least sack the Opal, but I think it's close with the Walker and the Thopters. I'm just not sure. Like, I do get 1 extra counter, right? Like, I get 1 extra implied damage. That's a weird way to describe it, but, like, I can put it on Ballista. Oh, wow, did they have... Wow, they drew Lightning Axe. I didn't even see that when we were going through. That's terrible for me. Okay, I guess if I wanted to play around that, but I mean, that's really hard to play around here. I don't think I can. Yeah. If I wanted to play around that, I could have put the counters on the Hangerback Walker, but I was already past wanting to do that, I think. So they dredge the Stinkweed. They will probably cast it, and they played Narcomoeba. So this game's starting to get away from us a little bit, but we're close to closing it out. We'll see what happens here. They do also have Faithless Looting, so they'll probably do that first. Prized Amalgam, Bloodghast. So now they'll dredge Loam, perhaps. Except I guess they really just want to cast Stinky, so they probably won't dredge Loam. They'll probably just dredge whatever's the highest. Oh, Loam might be the only dredger. No, there's Thug. I guess I would dredge. It's close. They did dredge Thug. I think that's reasonable. Since you can just dredge Loam on your draw step. But if you hit like a bigger dredger, or just, I guess you're discarding a bigger dredger. So I think you're supposed to dredge Loam there. Oh, they cast Thug instead of Stinky. Interesting. I guess they just want to be able to put the Narcomoeba on top. Well, that was a really good draw. I can shoot the Thug before Narcomoeba. And then are they dead? They're not. Alternatively, if I just attack, they get the Narcomoeba again, which is annoying. Oh, they hit another Grudge. I didn't see that. That's why we double check, I guess. Grudge doesn't do very much here. I think I do just do this. One Bloodghast right now. Okay. So kill this guy first for sure. I wonder if I'm supposed to... No, I'm just going to kill the Narcomoeba with this. I have other things to use my mana on. I'm not that worried about like needing this as a mana sink. Plus it's kind of bad to pay 4 mana when my opponent has access to this Grudge still. So they're going to put Stinky on top, sure. And then shoot this. And then I'm fairly certain I just attack. Are they going to grudge a Thopter token or the Hangerback? They're going to grudge the Hangerback. So they really need to hit Narcomoeba because we have, 5 on board. They can cast the Stinkweed Imp, but that's only 1 blocker. Wow, they hit. All right. And they did dredge Stinkweed, of course, yes. All right, well, they're alive. Certainly not blocking. This is going to be a close one. A little late for the old scales. Particularly because they have additional Bloodghast. So now I'm just in a really bad spot where I might not be able to attack. Obviously, if we put them to 1 here, I think we're just dead. So what's the best attack for me at this point? The problem is it's only getting worse, right? I mean, I can try to get there with this Hangerback. I think that's my best bet. Just be conservative and try to make an absurd number of flyers. And hope they don't find... No, we exiled Conflagrate, right? Yeah, this is the same game we exiled Conflagrate. So, yeah, that's a pretty good bet, actually. I think this is fine. Don't attack with anything. I don't want to give them a... Like, the only attack they're going to want to make is a lethal one. They don't want my Hangerback Walker to die, and then... Oh, no. Dark Blast and a Narcomoeba. That's not great. I can start picking these off. Obviously, Stinkweed Imp, they're also going to get to cast here. Sure, I guess attacking with Stinky makes sense, yeah. If they have another Stinky. Oh. Alright, so what are my outs here if I don't block? It was whatever my outs were last turn as well, right? Ballista. Throne doesn't do it. Apostle's Blessing does not do it. No, it does do it because I could target this and name blue, but I could block and have Apostle's Blessing still being out. I mean, the good news is now they have to block my Hangerback. And they'd have to block it with something that killed it, because they couldn't block it with Narcomoeba, because then I'd be getting with 4. Yeah, okay, so actually, I think I definitely just take this. Yeah. Because now they cast Stinkweed Imp. I attack with everything. They can't put this here, because then I get in for 4. Which means they have to block it with this. That gives me another blocker on defense. So I'll have 3, 4, 5 blockers. And they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. 7, because they get the Bloodghast back. Potentially more. But I can just let 2 of them. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely fine. So we'll do that. Animate this. Should probably have like triple checked that I'm not crazy here. No cards. No grudges. Attack with everything. This block can't happen. This obviously can't happen, so it has to be this. Okay. And then I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. But I'll be at 5, because it can't be. Perfect. Sure. All right. Stinkweed trigger to kill my already dead creature. We get our 3 Thopters. Play this land for 2 blockers and say go. And I think we're going to be okay since Conflagrate isn't a draw here. They can dredge Dark Blast. Hit like multiple Bloodghast. No, then they won't have a land. They could dredge Dark Blast, hit like Bloodghast, looting. They dredge Loam. So they have still just the 1 Bloodghast, and we did it. All right. Whew, that was a tough one. All right, I'll see you in just a minute here.